Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football. This is our Draft Prospect Show, and today we're going to feature James Burgess, a cornerback out of Alabama State. James Burgess is 6'3", right at 200 pounds, and we'll get to him in just a second. I want to mention that Logan Landers is our producer and engineer, and our co-host and founder is Vincent Turner. And Vincent, you told me that you need to keep an eye on this guy, James Burgess. Man, I'm glad you told me that. At 6'3", playing cornerback, I'm thinking safety, I'm thinking outside linebacker, I'm thinking he might even be a tight end. But because he can run so well, and because of the position and the roster and everything like that, he's ended up being a cornerback. He is an oddity at 6'3", with his height, with length, his strength, his power that he's got, his ability to move his feet. I sure wouldn't want to line up against someone like this. We don't know much about him now, but what are we going to be hearing about James Burgess in the near future?
Excellent size and height, real nice muscular frame for his size, long arms, very critical playing at the next level, and he's excellent in press coverage. And when you look at all the top cornerbacks that's played in the National Football League, like Mr. Burgess and his size, you got to say Charles Tillman, Albert Lewis, Emmett Thomas, Mel Blount, Richard Sherman, Emmett Thomas, Jerry Holmes, and Bobby Taylor. All knows about Mr. Burgess' size, 6'3" or above. And we know how good of players they were on the next level in the National Football League. Alabama State, coached by a former guy that played at a high level for the Houston Oilers and head coach Eddie Robertson Jr. Back to you, Hawk.
Yeah, I'm impressed not only with the size, but let's talk about his footwork, right? He uses his strength and his feet to be able to stay in front of receivers and make it very difficult for them to get to the route that they want to run. They've got to go around him. He excels in man press, especially early in the coverage when the ball is first snapped. For obvious reasons, after the receiver gets after 5 yards, you can't have the same contact. But his engagement with the wide receivers before then really forces them to work a little bit harder than what they would normally. He reacts really well to quarterback movement, meaning if he's on the left side and the quarterback rolls out to the quarterback's left on the opposite side, he's able to open up. And instead of spending that same time in tight coverage, he can see what the quarterback is doing and be able to play against the QB as well as the wide receiver. Little things like that. His stats in the last year, he had 53 tackles. He had six passes that he deflected. He had a forced fumble, 4 interceptions, and the young man even had a sack. That's one of the things that I think is interesting, how you can use him at the line of scrimmage, maybe even if he's in a slot and he's in a nickel coverage against a slot receiver, and have him come off the edge, especially on the blind side and the quarterback can't see him. With his size, his strength, his athletic ability, I think he'd have a lot more sacks at the NFL level because of that skill.
When you look at him and you're thinking about what you got to do at the next level, playing the cornerback position, you got to be very aggressive. You got to have confidence. You got to have instinct in your game. This young man fits all the boxes to me. Then I'm looking at, as I always, where you come from, what high school you out of. He's out of Huffman High School over in the Birmingham area. Marcellus Darius, first-round pick, Buffalo Bills. Andre Smith, first-round pick of the Cincinnati Bengals. A gentleman that was a star on American Idol, Rupert Studdard. So he's around a lot of talented people. And most of all, don't judge him what school he went to. This is a young man, I think, on the next level, is going to be a pretty good football player, especially if you're going to play him in the slot and have the ability to get hands on those small receivers. Back to you, Hawk.
Yeah, the slot isn't a must, but what an extra added value that you bring to do that, especially when you're going against the run. Because of your size, you're going to force a wide receiver. Basically, you can throw him away and then go make a play if it comes to your side. Let's look at some of the things that he does well. He's a projected deep zone player. He's a very good tackler against the run, and his skill set against wide receivers to force them to move and to change direction and to get off their route before they get back on it. He's big. He's physical. He's going to be a special teams guy for sure. So has he worked on that in the past? Obviously, that'll come into play. And the more that he's done earlier in his college career, the more it'll add up to where he can quickly and very easily encounter those types of challenges that he gets at the next level. What does he need to work on? He has basically average speed for his size. in quickness. He's 6'3". If he were 5'11", could he run a 4.6 instead of a 4.7? I don't know what his speed is, but I'm just saying that is something that is going to be a telltale sign. Do you want a smaller guy who's faster, or do you want a bigger guy that's just a little bit a tick slower? So if he works on that in his combine preparation, obviously that's going to be a huge factor. The slower that you are, the more you get pushed back. The quicker you get, the more money you're going to make, because you're going to get moved up into your draft positioning. Sometimes you misplay balls and you guess wrong. He's been caught doing that on a couple of occasions. He may not get to a 50-50 ball as quick as some of the others. He'll get there, but the others are in the air a little bit quicker than what he is one thing that I've seen. He struggles sometimes against faster, quicker receivers, and there are some tight ends that will block him, and bigger receivers that are able to move him from his spot and prevent him from being able to make a tackle with the same fluidity that some others would have. But all in all, James Burgess, because of his height, because of his weight, because of his speed, has everything lined up in front of him to be excellent. He's not quite there yet. He's got some work to do. Vincent, give me some final thoughts about James Burgess, quarterback out of Alabama State.
He went to Alabama State, and there was two pretty good football players that played in the secondary that played some years in the league, and Manny Martin, who's a decent football player with the Buffalo Bills, and then you had Michael Cole, who's a pretty good corner with the Indianapolis Colts. What you need in a corner and what you love for a corner, you got it with Mr. James Burgess. The one thing that a corner needs to do is that he's got to be strong. The motivation part of Mr. Burgess' game is an A+. From what I'm understanding, his work ethic is at another level. He's very versatile and he's dedicated to the game. You got those type of abilities, then you're going to be able to play at the next level. Don't judge the school he went to, but judge the player. And I think when the combine comes around, I think he's going to have a decent time, and I think he's going to be a good player at the next level.
Yeah,
back to you.
His hard work and his ethics for wanting to be the best he can be certainly will pay off because of the workouts that he's doing. HBCU All-American on a watch list for just about every cornerback position award that you could put together, and he's going to be one of those guys that we're going to be watching, and hopefully he gets a chance to move up from a day 3 to a day 2. Don't think he'll be a day 1 guy. If he is, the blessings to you, my young man. This is going to be an incredible next couple of months for you. So hard work will pay off, and we wish the best for James Burgess. And on behalf of Logan Landers, Vincent Turner, again, I'm Harper LaBelle. We wish James all the best in his upcoming career. He is a part of the Draft Prospect Show that we will bring to you all throughout the offseason. We look forward to presenting other players that you may not know a whole heck of a lot about, but you will after we get a chance to educate you and teach you a little bit more about it. So thank you for watching today on 100 Yards of Football. Have a fantastic day, everybody.